Hey y'all, it's the 24-hour childcare provider, and I told y'all I had to come to work. I've been at work since like 1:30. I had an interview at 2 o'clock. I think it's something wrong with me, cause you find some strange stuff out here. So let's talk about the interview. It's Sunday. It's 2 p.m. and I just had an interview. When we do our interview and we have a foolproof onboarding process, you don't even get to just come in my center and fill out an application. You have a pre-screening before you can fill out an application to just let me know where you are. And yes, I handle this one personally because of all the experience I have. Let's make it short so I can get home and cook these fried ribs, fresh green beans, and mashed potatoes, because that's what I want now. So I was coming up here anyway. Y'all know I work on Sundays. I come in typically and cannot do.
So for
Say hey, Daddy. Y'all tell Daddy hey. Say hey.
Hi.
Told you. We in the building.
Miss Fran.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know, remember that week they was out for school, school age? Would that be considered like dinner? Well, that's not dinner, but that's like lunch.
Yeah, they get
lunch?
when they're out for vacation or a holiday from school. They get breakfast snack, lunch snack. That's it. They don't get them.
Okay, so that would be the dinner for the 13th, the 14th, 15th.
That's when they was out.
Yeah.
Them the dates.
Yeah, because this was when Jaden Turner.
But you know we still had some other children in.
Yeah.
They've never been, so it's still gonna be a dinner serve.
I know, but it's not in the app.
Okay.
It's just like certain stuff that's in. Yeah.
Okay, so just put the ones that you see.
Okay.
And I have to ask Brianna about the other ones. Okay, so back to it, y'all. I told y'all 24-hour childcare provider. Yes, we have children here today. Every day, we don't play. However, y'all seen me earlier do the store run because Sam Club left out my stuff for my children and my household. Then I went back because today is, I cleaned up Friday, but I want to reset. So I went in and washed my bed and then all these old things. My husband was in the garage in his little man cave watching football. Great. So I told my children, okay, I took down my big girl house. She had a sew in. It was time for it to come in. I did that real quick. And then I came on back. Now back to the story. I just had a young lady to come in. And from the rip, I already knew it was something off. But to make a long story short, y'all, she just came in here. And when she filled out the pre-questionnaire, I was like, one of the questions on the let me get one for y'all. Hold on. Tell us about your experience working in childcare, kitchens, cleaning, or transportation. She said she had nanny experience in North Carolina. And she said she had in-home experience, in-home provider, and early childhood education provider experience. Okay. She said, I just remember some of the answers, but I'm getting to the main two. That's the first question, y'all. And then the other question was, this is not the right one. The other question is, are you familiar with Bright from the Start policy? Are you familiar with Bright from the Start policies and procedures for child care centers? Yeah, here go the right one. Are you familiar with Georgia's Bright from the Start requirements for child care centers? The first red flag was the first question. Remember, The first red flag was the first. That was the first one for me. The first red flag. Can you tell us about your background in childcare? She said she had nannying experience, which is great. And she said she had in-home care / early childhood education. So me, I love around with the pen. So that's right there. I put 3 question marks because I want to know, what do you mean? What do you have an in-home? On the phone when she called, I remember her telling me that she had an in-home childcare center. But it still didn't sound right to me. Y'all, by all accounts, I'm going to make sure it checks out. Your background check, your references, what you say, all that before you come in here with my kids. I love the ground these kids walk on. And before I invite a total stranger in here and you seem off to me, I'm not going to do it. So then I tell her to come on. I get her screening question. I read them. I put my marks on them. I tell her to come on, sit down. Let's do the interview. I told her about cherished memories. I'll tell y'all that later about the hiring process. Basically, you just give a little bit about your school, about the history of your school, y'all for, the way y'all work, y'all philosophy, y'all motto, your colors, why cherish memories, why you created, who am I? So gave that background check, y'all. So then I could not wait, y'all, because I knew I was gonna slip this girl up. I knew it. And so I didn't want to ask her. The one thing I didn't want to ask her is, because you don't want to insult nobody, you hear me? But I do know Georgia, right from the start, that's the state division that runs policies and procedures over in-home providers and child care center providers, okay? Right from the start. All this work from right from the start. I don't care if you do got your own center. You still got to abide by the rules of right from the start. Y'all know when the little bitty babies in the child care centers start choking, or somebody do something to them and they get on the news and they say bright from the start, Georgia's bright from the start. Yeah, that's because that's who handled it. So bright from the start also have rules, regulations, procedures, and policies about hiring as well. So when you call me and you come to me, first of all, let's get it out there. I told y'all this field is a cater field, and everything I had to learn on my own. Ain't nobody really out there teaching nothing and all this stuff. So the first thing is, I did not want to ask her, what's your decal number? What's the name of your school? Because when you walk through the door, it wasn't given. Okay? You look like a baby yourself. It wasn't given. Okay? So I did not, because I felt like that would be inappropriate. So I said, like I told you, I told her the history. I'm building it up. I'm getting it to her. Okay. Very professional. Very demure. Okay. You hear me? I'm getting it to her. This onboarding is no joke. And then I say, let's talk about your screening. And before I had done noted, I had done told her, oh, well, when was the last time you took them? After she went through her screening questions, the ones that you remember, it's 2. Number 1 and number 7 I had a problem with. In-home, early childhood education. What is that? No, I am not familiar with Bright from the Start's rules and regulations. How could you even have an in-home child care center if you're not familiar with the same people you got to go put in the application with to get the in-home child care center? Red flags, not gonna happen. Okay, you get me? So I proceed then, that was my gateway, because she told me she didn't have a background check. I proceeded to tell her, okay, basically this is an open position that we have here. We stay at capacity 80% of the time. We have other applications that we're reviewing. I said, but at this time, I would not consider you for this position. I said, and this is why. I said, young lady, you basically just came in here and told me you were breaking the law. I said, you built this whole biography of yourself like you was an owner. I said, but you're keeping all those kids, the kicker, y'all, here come the kicker, in your house. I said, you don't even have a background check. I said, do they put in applications? She said, she was terrified. I said, how do you get paid? She was like, and this is the end of my story. I said, so what I would suggest you do, baby. Well, how do I get started in child care? I said, first of all, please, whatever you apply to, because you can't work here now. I ain't say that, but in my mind, I'm saying, but you can't work here because something wrong with you. Or you just thought these 2 goals in my mouth meant I was a fool. No bad. 2 college degrees. Really been doing this for 15, 16 years. Yeah. I suggest you go to one of these Childcare Substitute Placement Agencies and start there. I said, but please do not tell anybody else that you're an in-home child care provider and you don't even have a background check to your name. Here go the kicker. She was like, oh, but I want to show you. This one I knew something wrong. I have an Instagram page for the parents. And when I looked at it, y'all, I have seen this page before. I ran across that page. And it say blah, 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 school. I said, baby, you're going to jail. Just as soon as one of your parents get mad at you, you're going to jail, mama. You're going to jail, mama.